going on, everybody? I'm Aaron.
I'm Omar.
I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And welcome to our special edition Star Wars Day episode of ToCing Points, even though it's airing probably on a Monday, so...
It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap. So, for today's episode, we'll be talking about all things Star Wars. You know, what Star Wars means to us, our favorite character or characters. We'll talk about the much hated by Disney expanded universe. You know, we'll also talk about, you know, what we would like to see from Star Wars, discuss the collectibles from the franchise, and then we'll read the fanswers from the ToCing Points and announce next week's ToCing Point. So with all that said, let's get talking. So anyway, what does Star Wars mean for y'all? Because for me, it was like this magical world of sci-fi meets, you know, mysticism meets, you know, Western. And I mean, it opened my world to basically everything sci-fi for me. It was my first real experience with a sci-fi movie that I truly enjoyed. So, I mean, what did it mean for you, Omar?
Oh, that's easy. Gold medal brassieres.
That's true.
Well, when most people were looking at the JCPenney section that had brassieres, that was for me when I was that age. I was in the Star Wars section, like, I want these, but it's 1983, 84, so I mean, the 1977 JCPenney's catalog was very dear. And not those things that people would think of.
I think Princess Leia was like everybody's like first crush back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, and then when the movies got released on VHS, you know, 90s as well, because, you know, kids were sitting there going, "Who titties?"
Rewind. Slow down.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Rewind. Alright, I need a break.
Now, seriously, if you ever watched a movie
Rewind.
airplane, how many times did you do that back in the day?
Uh,
I don't know.
4 or 5 a
Chewbacca
weekend.
just to be a little high.
But anyway, you know, so...
Chewbacca had a little sexiness to
There's a little
him.
Yeah.
sexiness
Little
going on with
swag.
Chewie.
But you know, Star Wars itself was, I mean, it was ahead of its time as far as sci-fi went, because, you know, not too many people really wanted to go see sci-fi back in those days. It was always, hey, did you hear about Death Wish? That's coming out with another movie. Yeah, let's go watch the cop kill somebody. No, then all of a sudden Star Wars comes out. What's a Star Wars? Isn't that like, I guess they're gonna fly like an Apollo pod to the moon and start shooting at aliens or something? No, it became this space opera that took off, you know?
Visually, it blew your mind.
Yeah.
There was nothing yet at that time that
visual effects are way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And you talk about carbon copies, there was so many like spin-offs and more important like knockoffs. There was like the Ice Pirates, and I think it's kind of funny that Disney actually owns Star Wars now, because they made a poor attempt to copy that in the form of the black hole.
Yeah.
And for you kids that don't know about this movie at all, don't check it out. Don't bother renting it. I think I got it somewhere in the house as a coaster for when guests come over. It was a horrible, excruciating.
It was a black hole.
It was a black hole. It literally was just that. It was a black hole. It was a poor attempt at the genuine article, in my opinion.
Everybody wanted to cash in on it, though. I mean, there are even ripoffs that actually use footage of, like, the Falcon from A New Hope flying in, like, woohoo, you're all clear, kid. There's a movie that opens with that footage, but it's, like, rainbow affected. But it's literally frame for frame the same footage. It's like some Chinese knockoff.
Oh,
And then-
they were notorious for that kind
And
of
they
stuff.
use, I think they use like some Star Trek footage and just make this horrible mashup that was probably the inspiration for
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
Yeah. Spaceballs was another, you know, that was a
Santa
good...
Claus defeats the Martians kind of graphics there.
Nothing nowadays has like, I mean, everything has a reference of Star Wars. Any sitcom, TV show, I mean, they plug it in every chance they can, any which way they can.
Family Guy, look
If
at
they
that.
can afford it.
Yeah.
When you have a porn parody of your movie, that's when you know you've made it.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple form.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into the type of names they went into with this, but I could have won like Star Wars or something.
Yeah, Star Wars, A New Hole.
I haven't seen
Revenge of the shit. The all anal fight.
if Star Wars has its own vibrator line yet. Avengers does, but I haven't seen the Star Wars vibrator line yet.
They turn it
Should
on.
watch Zack and Miri make a porno.
If they couldn't imagine that out of a lightsaber, then they're missing out on millions of dollars.
Yeah. So, you know.
And this conversation has took a hard right towards the
If somebody steals that idea, we need to be paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I expect my 10 cents in the mail.
So, you know, I mean, it's amazing how far the movie series has come along, you know, except for the fact Disney now owns it. But other than that, we won't, you know.
Spawned religion.
Should we at least give a
Yeah,
5-minute
it's fine.
space between talking about porn and Disney?
Yeah.
Like little.
Kind of go hand in
Why?
hand.
They put dicks in their old cartoon movies.
Yeah, I mean,
this
come
is
on.
true. This is true. Why
One
stop?
of the 7 dwarfs has a dick for a nose.
Which one is that, Fucky?
No, I think it's Dopey.
I might actually have to go back and look for that. I didn't even know about that.
One of the little pirate from Peter Pan, not Hook, but his little assistant. He starts off drawn as a dick. That's how to draw
Captain Smee?
video.
Or Mr. Smee?
That's like one of my favorite characters too, Smee.
I notice whenever I come on this show, we have no problems raiding and pillaging the Disney Vault and just making a mess of the
Yeah.
place.
But yeah, so, you know, Disney, when they took a hold to the series, I was real skeptical, still skeptical that they can really pull it off as well as they did. I mean, Episode 7 wasn't a terrible movie, but it just, to me, they could have used the expanded universe so much more.
It was a carbon copy of like New Hope in a way.
Yeah.
My problem now isn't necessarily that Disney had to do with that movie. It's J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, yeah.
I just don't like the direction that he takes movies in.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean,
And
I've watched a few of his movies. And
some of the stuff that got cut out, I feel like should have been left in there because it's critical to the story.
yeah.
But, you know, it's J.J. Abrams. He basically... I'm not a fan of Star Trek, but he basically used a lot of what he used in Star Trek in Star Wars.
Yeah. The warp
This
drive.
is true. This is
And-
true.
Like, one of the things that got cut is when Starkiller Base is blowing up those 5 planets, there's no explanation to why he's doing that. Whereas the stuff that got cut actually explains that the girl that they zoomed in on was like a politician or something.
Yeah,
that was-
part of the
with
Republic
Leia.
stuff. Yeah.
but all they got cut out, so it's just one woman on a balcony going,
Yeah.
and, you know, J.J. Abrams lens flare effects.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when the helmet of Kylo Ren goes down into the ashes and all, and it's like, that's supposed to be a creepy moment, so he says, but it's not explained when you're watching it, and then you gotta hear his explanation. Well, that's the villains that he's killed and his ashes little pile there for
Yeah.
ritual that he puts his little helmet in.
And he does that with a lot of stuff
Like,
where it's just
you
like,
could have had a note about that.
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense until you hear his explanation about it. But if you never, you know, read that article or hear that interview, it's never going to make sense to you.
That's true.
Now, do you guys feel
Sorry.
that the hype with Kylo Ren, the build-up, and then the actual reality of his character, do you think it was maybe like a, Jesus Christ, you gotta be kidding me, he's like a whiny,
It was
spoiled,
basically a whiny hipster.
Yeah.
and leading up
Compared
to
to
it,
what they were building him in the
yeah,
trailer.
he was supposed to be like mysterious, like he's really gonna tear the universe a new ass. He's
I
just
really
a
expected him to be
pouty
like
kid.
Darth
Yeah,
Vader
Paulson is like-
incarnate.
Well, see, that was the
Yeah.
trick too, though. How do you make a villain to go up against the granddaddy, literally, of all, like, you know, villains? And Darth Vader's the most recognized villain probably around the world. How do you make a carbon copy of that without imitating it completely? So maybe there's hope for the Kylo Ren character, but for a lot of people, yes, they did see it as like, he's a little whiny kind of
Yeah.
prissy ass, but maybe he'll get harder.
I'm
Anakin
still
was
holding
too.
out hope
I
that,
mean,
you know, when he continues his training with Snoke will whip that bitch out of him.
Yeah.
let's not forget
Well,
Anakin in
the
The scene
episode
that
2.
killed it for me was when he pitched that hissy fit, destroying all the computers.
I know. You know the guy from IT was like,
That
fuck!
I was like, what? He's just a little bitch.
Like I could see Granddaddy Vader taking him to his doctor's appointment and get him like his
Yeah.
Little dose of Ritalin and shit.
I can live with that though better than the Clone Wars love scene of Anakin and Padme like running around.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't talk.
we
episode one.
don't. We don't.
I acknowledge their existence for the stories that they could have been.
Yeah.
So there's no Jar Jar fans then.
I guess in a way that is an elephant in the room.
Yeah.
We're gonna take that
I
away.
think Jar Jar has his place, and
In hell.
he got
$5 bin.
he got a
Yeah.
bad rap for what he was, but without Jar Jar and his actions when Amidala made him, you know,
Screwing the whole galaxy. Yeah.
without that happening, there would be no 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So I guess we
Rogue
have to love
One.
the little bastard.
So it's a necessary evil.
Exactly.
That's.
I
can see that.
I don't like Jar Jar Binks in the least, but I respect his existence for what came after him.
Which was Jar Jar Banks, his son, right?
No.
Bad dad joke. Yeah, I guess that. So anyway,
Wasn't he
I
even a
don't-
contender for who Kylo Ren is? Like some people on the internet, like it's Jar Jar
There was
Binks.
this
Yeah,
huge,
there-
massive theory, and the
that
worst
he was
part
a-
is that it made sense.
yeah, that he was a Sith Lord in disguise.
They backed it up with evidence that made sense. The only thing that killed it was Jar Jar would be too damn fucking old.
Yeah.
Nobody would factor in that between the end of Jedi and the beginning of Force Awakens, it's been 30 years.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars timeline, not just the reality timeline that we live in, it's been 30 years in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And between Episode 3 and Episode 4, it's been another 19 to 22 years. So Jar Jar was already, you know, let's say he was
Guardians
like
might be
20,
very well
21. By the time Force Awakens comes around, he's pushing 100.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is
He
Han
would have had to
Solo?
have gotten himself killed by then.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, come
the
on.
timeline separation between these movies is almost like Tekken. Like, there's not a tournament every year. It's like a Tekken tournament every 15, 20 years. Like, like Heihachi's fighting like his great grandkids and all. Like,
Yeah.
it's really odd how they leave that much of a time gap. But I guess that allows room for like side stories and with things like Rogue One,
Yeah.
upcoming Rogue One, things like
And
that.
things that'll never come to existence, like Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, exactly. Things they should be
Thrawn.
making a movie of.
Thrawn is the thing that should truly come to life.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, you know, now that we've kind of talked a little bit about what Star Wars meant to us, and plus a little extra, let's talk about our favorite characters. I mean, of course, you know, you can ask Josh, and with the T-shirt I'm wearing here, which is, you know, Deadpool Boba Fett.
No, we're not talking last week's ToCing Point favorite character. We're talking like
Nah.
mainline favorite.
Mainline favorite, yeah. So, you know, everybody has that mainline favorite character. So, you know, I've got Boba Fett, but I've also got, you know, Darth Vader himself. You know, of course everybody loves Darth Vader. He's dark, mysterious, but, you know, he's not...
a measuring stick.
I mean, he literally was, like, this ultimate powerful badass, you know, if you think about it.
In 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, in 4, 5, and 6.
He was a little bitch in 1, 2, and 3.
Quite literally in 2.
The 3, he kind of redeems himself when he killed the younglings. I mean, that was a kind of epic little moment.
In 1, he started off in, you know, about my length hair. 2, it started getting a little longer. 3, he had a full-on, you know,
I hate
1980s
sand.
perm.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It's funny you mentioned the Yingling, great beard guys, with the youngling scene, because maybe they had to throw that in because sometimes, like in our day and age, villains tend to be like liked. Like there's sometimes some guys are just swimming upstream as far as being villainous and nefarious,
Yeah.
and they're just so popular they can't help but to go from like a bad guy to a good guy kind of vibe. So
Yeah.
maybe him hacking down a bunch of kids like that, just a thing would be like, yeah, that
there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, you're not...
You're done.
Yeah.
Blowing up a planet, we can forgive that.
Yeah.
beheading like 15 little kids. No.
Yeah, you're an
That's
asshole.
storytelling number
Raider
one.
tribe.
That's
I mean, that's
storytelling
okay.
101. You have to hate the villain in order for him to be a villain.
Yeah.
But does anybody hate Darth Vader though? I mean, he's kind of loved.
No, even
Yeah,
people are like, hell
But
yeah,
despite
cut those-
that
But
helmet, all
those
that-
guys down.
he's made in a way that you love to hate him.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But
nobody's cuddly with
Also-
the Emperor.
I think they waited just a little too long for a scene like the youngling scene to happen.
Yeah.
He was already kind of,
That's where you gotta go to the cartoons.
yeah.
Clone Wars animated series, I think, does some justice for what the prequels didn't give justice to.
They
Yeah.
were shooting more for the love story instead of the origin story, in my opinion.
Well, that Padme White suit was very.
Yeah.
We can give credit
I
to
can't
that,
argue with that.
Yeah.
Well, even with the Clone Wars cartoon, they really overdid as far as like making him a goody two shoes, a hero, and maybe that whole. I know there was a tear in my eye when I saw that scene. The whole Order 66 and Jedi's getting cut down.
That's
Just that
rough.
whole. It really was. It was hard to watch, and I don't think I could sit through that without like, damn, that's cold.
Their
That's-
fight scene was fairly epic at the end too, but that was the downside. You waited like 3 movies for like 15 minutes at the end of
They
episode
just
3.
wait too
to,
long
like,
to make it happen.
that moment was what everybody was waiting for, and that was what you got. And then the credits rolled, and it was like, shit,
Damn.
Yeah, you know.
wow.
But the surprising part is that people are like, no, he didn't. Of course he becomes Vader. What are you
Yeah.
expecting?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are-
this isn't going to end well.
You know how it ends.
What a horrible no! Like, what the hell is that?
And then the most famous misquote of all time with Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah.
You know that happens.
Yeah.
This is the story of how all that came to pass. So to act surprised, I guess maybe it's the initial shock, like, well, I wasn't expected to go quite down like that, but you know, going to like a preschool and just like.
That damn Mace Windu. He was to blame for it all, such a hard ass. He's the like most meanest Jedi I ever saw.
You know, I was waiting for Samuel L. Jackson to go, motherfucker, at least one point in that movie.
I'm sure he
disappointed.
wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sick of
yeah.
these motherfucking
Yeah.
Sith Lords
Yeah. It was
on
coming
the tip
into my
of his tongue.
motherfucking castle.
Yeah.
That absolutely was on the tip of his tongue. You had to know he was holding all that
Because that was like
back.
right after Snakes on a Plane, too.
Yeah.
So it was like,
So that was pretty much, should have been on everybody's mind.
So now we got Snooks on a TIE fighter. Mace Windu's Force Ghost comes back to fight the Snoke.
I'm still not really sure how I feel about Snoke.
I mean, he's
Like, right now I'm kind
What
of
if
buying
he's
into
Jar
the
Jar
Darth
Binks,
Plagueis
like-
theory.
yeah. What if he's like 100-year-old Darth Jar Jar or something? You know.
Yeah.
because he's got his own share of conspiracy theories.
And think about it, Jar Jar
Oh,
was
him too.
Jar Jar was clumsy enough. He had to get fucked up somehow in the face.
I'm still walking
about
with the Darth Plagueis theory.
Could be, but J.J. Abrams has already said that's not happening.
That's the great part of
Well,
the new
guess what? It's not
franchise.
fucking J.J. Abrams' movie anymore.
That's true.
Or, I mean, he could be doing that just to kind of throw you off the path.
Yeah. Y'all know Khan's not in this movie. 30 minutes of Khan!
Yeah. God.
But he's not in the movie.
Can you imagine how hard it is to write a script and have like a surprise element in the digital age now with like Facebook? You got 1 million people analyzing like I must have seen about 600 different analysts talking about that little 10-second Spider-Man appearance in Civil War, and this was like the guys in Hollywood must have been like, shit. Shit.
Yeah.
Like every 10 seconds.
It's also a great way though to still a good idea. Somebody be like, have something really good to say. It's like, oh, time to scrap this plan. We're stealing this guy's idea. I mean, that's better than what I wrote. So I mean, it at least gives you the opportunity to see what the audience and the fans want, because that's really what you're doing it for. And
At the end of the day, that's true.
Abrams has done that, because we're all still having the same debates that people were having at the end of Empire Strikes Back. Like, what the hell just happened to Han? And Luke's lost his fucking hand, and Vader is his dad. I mean, your minds were blown, and the debates were going, and still right now, we're like, who's raised daddy? I mean, we're back at the same issues again, and I mean, but we like it, and it's worth debating, and we're interested. So at least they engaged us again, which the prequels did not engage us so much.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much knew what was going to happen.
I completely agree with that.
So he hasn't done that.
The only problem I have is that J.J. Abrams has been known to just flat out lie.
Yeah.
And keeping it a secret is one thing, but I don't think you should just flat out lie to your audience. Because if you pit them against you, that could be career suicide.
But
sometimes desperate times, you gotta do what you gotta do to hold the secret back.
But speaking of
J.J.
but
it also makes people not trust you, and if he's saying that Snoke isn't Darth Plagueis after the whole con isn't in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't believe him. I mean, that him saying that has no factor in me going, well, maybe it's not Darth Plagueis.
But we're talking about J.J. Abrams making making the last Star Wars. What was up with some of the names he gave things? Guavian soldier. I mean, he looked at a fucking jar of guava jelly and was like, huh. Keeps looking at the little model he's got there. He goes, "I've got it, Guavin."
I don't know. I mean,
and then Raftar. Yeah, that sounds like
that one. Yeah,
that sounds like something off of Rugrats. Look at this Raftar coming at us.
Indeed, the creative department's in desperate times.
Yeah,
I mean,
desperate times.
We will never know because Disney's super secret of how much control they actually held over that.
And how many hidden Mickeys did they throw in that fucking movie? I have yet to see one, but I guarantee you there's one goddamn hidden Mickey somewhere
there's
there.
at least one because they do that in every movie.
No, they're gonna smear their propaganda feces all over everything they touch now.
They'll have sex written in the stars. Mufasa, the planet Mufasa somewhere out in the line.
Disney is awesome.
Don't forget, folks, we own this motherfucker.
They'll go to one planet that looks just like what was the place off of Aladdin?
Agrabah?
Yeah, Agrabah. They call the planet Agrabah instead of Dagobah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
that's the desert version of Dagobah.
Luke will break out in a musical with "I'll Make a Man Out of You" for Rey.
Let it go.
I don't know.
Let's just hit it with a frozen thing there. Let it go.
Now, if I can take a step back,
Let it snow.
Let it snow.
Going into the whole Han Solo being killed, and folks are saying spoiler, it's been out for months now. If you don't know, then go eat a dick.
I did not know it yet, man.
There's spoiler alerts, and then there's
go buy and
full-on
eat a dick
riots. Oh yeah, that's right. That's your turn. So I owe y'all 10 cents. But even with Transformers or any other franchise, you say what happened in the movie before people see it, they're like, you son of a bitch, you. But to announce that Han Solo died, there was a movie theater, I think it was somewhere in Massachusetts, where they full on beat the shit out of the guy.
It's Han Solo died.
And they just rioted, they tore this man a new ass.
Stuff like that happened with the original trilogy too.
And then stuff like that also happened with one of the Harry Potter movies. Remember when Snape killed, or Dumbledore gets killed by Snape?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, well you don't watch that, but anyway.
So was it on that level?
It was on that level, yeah. I mean, people were like, well, no, Harry Potter fans usually don't fight people. They just sit there and wave sticks at people. So
There were
I just offended a whole group here.
Back at the end of Empire Strikes Back, people would come out and be like, Darth Vader's Luke's father, and they'd get beat down right outside the theater. So
yeah, you'd hear one guy.
Star Wars.
Are you serious? You just wasted this. Or Walking Dead.
Yeah, you don't fuck with that either.
Yeah.
No.
That's pretty bad.
We don't kill off certain characters in Walking Dead.
Yes, we won't talk about that right now.
But see, we should get a time machine and just go back to 1978.
Everybody's stuff.
Oh hell, I walk out there Apollo beat Rocky, yes. we should do that. We should do it as a social experiment for a whole year. Just ruin every fucking movie that comes out.
I don't even want to think about the butterfly effect that would cause. It would ruin space-time, the continuum.
Come back Biff is running things now because of what we did.
Yeah. Hey, McFly! there's just it. I
I never seen, me personally, I just never seen such a horrific backlash. Like, people were getting deleted off of Facebook, like brother against brother, and like fathers against, like, you son of a bitch, you just ruined this. You're out the fucking will. Get out of my fucking house.
Yeah.
Like, the kids were being thrown out of their houses because of this kind of shit. And I've never seen anything like that. Not on that level, with the exception of the Harry Potter thing. Is just to even spoil something like that. That just shows how much people love that franchise.
Yeah.
They took that shit seriously, really seriously.
Yep.
And that, I was just reading that article. From a standpoint of, I haven't seen this movie before. Yeah, I would have fucked this guy up.
Yeah.
There's no way he wouldn't have walked out without an ass whipping. Like,
And you can't take it back. Like, no, he didn't die.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's none of that. There's none, because now it's in the back of my head. Like, well, I'm expecting it now. I'm just sitting here like, sitting in the movie theater like it's ruined.
It's gonna happen at some point. I mean, when they started setting it up, when he was all like, "I'm gonna go down there," I was like, "Oh shit, that's not gonna end well." So now I'm already expecting it to happen, but because the movie is letting me know that. If I'd have been in there and been like, "Alright, well, at some point Han Solo's gonna die in the next 2 hours and 18 minutes, so let's get this over with."
See, I really didn't see it coming. I got like that frog in the back of my throat when I saw the bridge. I saw the sun. Kylo Ren's like, yeah, the hug, and I was like, no, dude, no.
They did.
Yeah, when he was
like,
walking
grabbing
over
the
the
chairs,
bridge,
I'm like,
that's when I was all like,
no.
"Oh shit, something's about to happen."
Something fucked up.
They ain't gonna kill the bad guy. But I didn't expect him to die though. I was like thinking, alright, he's gonna like throw him off the bridge, and then there's gonna be like, Rey realizes that she has even more force powers, and it's just like,
Like Chewie's gonna save him at the last minute. Like, something's gotta happen.
or like Poe Dameron's just gonna be like flying up the damn exhaust vent.
Yeah.
Here comes Luke, he's back. Like, just like,
Well, yeah, that was an option too.
Yeah.
We're looking for Luke. He might be in here somewhere.
BB-8 falls from the sky and lands on top of Kylo Ren.
Even though I knew
was really
something was
good.
gonna happen, it still shocked me.
there was still that surprise factor, and for movies to do that in this day and
It's
age,
very hard to do.
very well. Transformers 4. Did you expect Ratchet to get the axe like that?
No.
I was in tears. I'm not
I
gonna
like
lie.
Ratchet too.
That was a brutal beatdown, though.
Because it was unexpected. You never would have saw that shit. I mean, the way they did it was like Gangland style. That was Mafia. That was a mob hit. Like, he's hiding. That was nothing short of someone that placed a $1,000 bet on the Raiders and they lost. So they like hide in the water tower. Like, maybe they won't find me here.
So now we've gone off on another wild ass tangent.
way.
Maybe we should get back to the favorite
Characters, yeah. So it seems like that always happens when we have guest hosts.
or when we talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because they're just so fucking... No.
Yeah, here we go. We're doing it again.
Somebody just say a fucking character.
Yeah, come on.
Greedo was mine. Greedo and Jawas, those are like my two. That's like my thing.
Yeah.
Dude, we got kicked out of class. Oh, not you and me. I got kicked out of class because of Jawas once. Because we had this math teacher. He was fucking cool as shit. But he was kind of a brain. He was like a walking Snapple fact book or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was also a Star Wars guy, and we were having what was affectionately referred to as Hawaiian Shirt Day. Which was basically, if he showed up in a Hawaiian shirt, we knew we weren't doing shit for class. We'd do whatever. But somewhere in the middle of that, somebody pissed him off, so we actually started doing work, and I didn't realize it. So I was like, yo, hey, insert teacher's name here. Does the word Houdini have any scientific meaning? No. Well, could you say it? No, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yes, he was having a very bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't one of his.
You know the teacher.
Yeah, I know the teacher.
He was cool as shit until you pissed him off.
Yeah, we did that.
13. You killed my wizard. Get out.
Yeah. Wasn't the only time we'd ever gotten kicked out either.
Well, mine's is simple and to the point. Admiral Akbar. I just feel like he was so unappreciated. Just I think they could have done a lot more with his character. Like he's like the rough, rugged war veteran trying to save the day and help these guys pull things off.
And he's old as shit too. I mean, if you really looked at his backstory, he's been. Let's see, he's survived the Clone Wars. He's been, at the second run of the Death Star there, and now he was like in the first part of the new trilogy. That is one fucking old fish right there. Mon Cala,
hard to kill.
He's pushing 100.
yeah. The Mon Cala must have a really good life.
And the actor who played him just recently passed away.
Really did. Rest in peace.
Yep.
So they'll probably have him in the next video. They'll just have his tombstone for like 5 minutes panned out. Admiral Akbar died eating a Snickers bar.
I just wonder if it was saying his, like, his headstone should say "It's a trap." I mean, it'd just be epic. It's his best line he ever probably had.
No, we should do like a whole Paul Walker montage. Just have like the 2 starships just like bridge off.
Yeah, we already hit that.
Yeah.
But not in a respectful manner.
Yeah.
Have him and Chewie pull up next to each other. It's like
That's what happens whenever you
final wink and drive off.
Yeah, I ended up hitting a light pole in Grand Theft Auto. That turned into our Paul Walker montage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, I pulled a Paul Walker, and all of a sudden Josh has it played. I will remember you.
Now we know there's a lot of Paul Walker fans, and this might seem real disrespectful. So if it did, you should get up. You should go into the bedroom, and you should probably hang yourself. For being so butthurt and sensitive about this. It's been a year. He's made it. The fucker's still making money. He's making more money dead than I am alive.
He's like Tupac.
I know.
Maybe he's not really dead.
Yeah.
That might have been a stunt double.
So Paul Walker
I can
and
buy that.
Yeah, I could too.
It's like
him and
Mom,
Tupac
you
and
gotta find a way
Elvis
out.
was chilling at the Sizzler, according to you.
I mean, he was tired of driving cars and whatnot.
Yeah.
He was wanting to get out of that type of life. The movies were all about that. I mean, Vin Diesel was just a bad type of friend that kept drawing him back in.
Yeah, and he was tired of Vin Diesel cheating on him with Aaron.
Fuck off. I'm ready for that thing to be dead. Why can't Vin Diesel just go ahead and die already so I don't have to hear about this anymore?
That won't make it any better.
Yeah, I know.
Well, technically he did, and they brought Groot right back, so there's no...
Hey, Groot's cool.
Marvel's just getting all kinds of plugs on their little
Yeah.
It all belongs to Disney.
It
Yeah.
all belongs to them. They just made like 50 cents on all those name drops we just didn't know.
Yeah. Next thing you know, the cast will be appearing behind us going doo 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 doo. I didn't finish that song. Yeah.
Oh, shit, lawyers are here.
Yeah. ToC now owned by Maker Studios. I did not realize that PewDiePie is a Disney employee technically.
Well, where were you?
Okay, I didn't realize that until like a couple of months back.
That was a big story like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's new days, so that kind of...
You gotta realize, all I do is play PlayStation 4 and eat Cheetos all day. I actually have no life outside of this. I don't even pay attention to the news.
Yeah, I pretty much eat, sleep, and bang YouTube.
Yeah. Josh, have you named your character?
No, have you?
Yes. I said Darth Vader and Boba Fett.
Oh, well, mine's dead. He got stabbed in the heart and fell off a fucking bridge.
No, I thought you meant R2-D2.
No, I don't really like R2-D2. At all. Or C-3PO. C-3PO's a dick.
Yes.
We just lost 3 more fans from that comment.
Yeah. Kenny Baker's like, I'm done with this shit.
Sons of bitch. Never mind the Paul Walker joke, but he went too damn far.
Yeah.
With art.
I can't lie, I've always wondered what the hell R2-D2 was saying that was so offensive, though. I mean, I've tried plugging it in. What the hell is he saying? Because when you watch Smurfs, you can figure it out when they're like, you smurfing Smurfer or whatever.
Yeah.
I know what they're saying, but...
Go Smurf yourself.
Yeah.
I don't like the tone of that
Yeah, I
last
just
bleep.
smurfed that.
Yeah.
But R2-D2, no, I don't know what them little chirps mean. It's like, what is that?
But yeah, mine was Han Solo.
Yes.
He's kind of an arrogant asshole like me.
This is true. I can say that because I'm part of Triforce of Chaos.
But he brought a lot
I
to
would
the table
totally be a
as
space
well.
smuggler, you know, if that was
Yeah.
the thing.
The whole like space pirate kind of sort of comic relief, wannabe hero, not quite sidekick to Luke Skywalker, but
Get some ass on the side.
oh yeah, that man was all about the poon.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why they can't make the origin story. Too many space strip clubs.
not Disney anyway. They might let their little Miramax studios handle that one.
Yeah.
You could only imagine what a night out like with Han Solo and Lando Calrissian would be like.
Be like an episode of
What
Pulp
the
Fiction.
fuck you doing drinking that blue milk? Here, I'll put some hair on your chest.
Yeah. It'd be just like Pulp Fiction, you know. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say Houdini one more time. Houdini!
Wake up next to like half of like Jabba's band and shit. Like, just
Yeah.
Max Rebo all snuggled up
I got a
next
bad
to
Yeah. So, now that we've kind of...
The little tentacle-haired chick from Jawa's palace comes home with a bag from Walgreens. You know, one of those bags. Goes into the bathroom. I got a bad feeling about those.
Yeah.
It would be worse if it was the chick with 6 tits, because she has a litter.
Yeah.
Then you're really screwed. Which it took me the longest time to realize that was 6 tits. I didn't know that. I had to read a book to find it. Speaking of expanded universe.
Lucas really knew how to put them together, didn't he?
So, you know, Disney will definitely hate us on this discussion here, but we're going to talk about the expanded universe, you know. That, to me, when they said, oh no, that no longer matters, we're going to call that Legends.
And that's just the accepted books, not the ones that we just are simply going to ignore that even exist.
Yeah. I mean, like
Fears of the Galaxy and all that.
yeah.
Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
Jedi Academy.
Shadows of the Empire.
Bitches.
It makes sense that they're following suit like that because they have a way of just making people forget things that ever took place. Like with Marvel, like X-Men, who? What?
It's called Men in Black, and you looked into the stick, and they flashed you. That's what happened.
So like, just picture a digital universe, and like, here's the X-Men, another card. Here's the Fantastic Four.
Wow.
Here's parts of Star Wars, like.
Spider-Man, we're only being 10
Now there's
seconds.
a big mountain in the middle of the road.
Yeah, but they nixed a lot of good opportunity though.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff doing away with, I can understand because it does not fall in line with the movie universe at all. But
Yeah.
for
there's like
example,
5 different
Shadows of the
backstories.
Empire, they nixed that when that could have been a good. Actually, what it was designed for was it takes place between A New Hope and
It's a bridge.
Empire,
Yeah.
and simultaneously with Empire as a backhand story,
Damn good video game.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
which, with any luck, will be streaming on Wednesday for Star Wars Day.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'll be doing our pretty much a good all-day stream of
The
Star
backup
Wars
plan
related-
is going to be Battlefront.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Shadows will work.
Yeah.
But fucking great story in the game. The book even better, and it's valuable information that I think they should have kept canon.
Yeah.
Because that would have been, you know, Rogue One's taking place between 3 and 4. Shadows of the Empire could have taken place between 4 and 5, and there are tie-ins with 5 all throughout. So
Yeah.
I just have found it offensive, the chopping of the twins. I mean, Jason and Jan. I mean, that was pivotal to the whole after story there, and now we just get one, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know how that's going to work out for them.
You can't treat it like a buffet. You can't just pick and choose what parts you want and just leave the rest. And that was a Big Trouble in Little China reference there, kids. It's like you guys said, if you're gonna respect something like that, you gotta have the entire enchilada involved. You can't just, well, we'll throw this part of history away. We'll throw this part. These things happened.
Yeah.
They happened. You can't deny it happened. And
Well, that's a large chunk of time too, from Return of the Jedi when that 84 done over, you know, in that era. All these books have been with us, and that's what's continued it onward.
Yeah.
And that's what helped to keep it to where we could have prequels and the new movies, and now we're just going to ignore that kept it alive all these years for fans that faithfully bought those books. Now, screw you guys, and we're going to get the Disney abridged version.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be loyal to the fans, be loyal all the way.
Yeah, but what is the biggest disrespect, at least as far as I'm concerned, again with Shadows of the Empires, that was officially licensed Lucas material. So if George Lucas typically is not one to put his name on something that he's not going to stand behind.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, the Rogue Squadron games and books, they should have been, included in the canon department.
Or even like a nice little Easter egg, little hint or clue dropped in there.
Something.
Yeah.
Like
some kind of reference.
The Fears
like
of the Galaxy were not, Lucas backed at all. It was just some random writer who applied, got the permission, and did his own thing.
Yeah.
I can understand them being like, alright, well, and this one Luke dies on the 3rd page. Well, we can't use that. I can understand that.
Yeah.
And then...
And I can understand getting rid of clone Luke. If you've ever read any of the comics, there was a clone that was named Luke Skywalker.
What major franchise doesn't have a clone story attached?
Well, look at the ones that they chose to, the ones that got the legends on top of the book. A lot of that's going way back. I mean, to the Knights of the Old Republic, kind of pandering to the games and what they're trying to really nurture. Whereas where we're going into the stories now, they just want to make that all disappear completely so that they can try to reformat that landscape based off of this other stuff they're creating currently or that they've chosen. Though Knights of the Old Republic, I will give that some credit. It was some good stuff in there. I mean, Darth Bane, there's some good ground in there.
Yeah.
Well, it's still one of the hit MMOs out there, isn't it? Like still amongst the top 5.
There are people
top 3.
there's people still playing it. Even though it's been how old now?
I don't think
It's
they've
got some
made an
age to
update
it.
for it in at least 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, they were talking about killing it off completely, and people were
Cutting the
revolted.
servers and
People started making servers themselves.
I think people made their own private servers. I think there were GoFundMe's or something to fund keeping the server.
Yeah.
We'll pay for the servers. You just don't touch them.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it was very good stuff. I mean, it laid out a groundwork for something that we hadn't seen and that we enjoyed in that expanded section of it where the origins of Sith come from, what the Jedi Council and stuff looked like pre, Empire, and we really don't even know what was going on to make it so weak during Yoda and them's area.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to imagine Master Yoda didn't see that shit coming, but clearly he didn't.
Well, he was only so tall,
How did you miss a Sith Lord right next to you?
Well, I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he foresaw as far as Luke and Dagobah and all that.
The whole fall.
And he knew that the prophecy, was a little vague. Anakin did eventually bring balance to the Force. It just took a whole bunch of shit happening
Yeah.
before Luke was able to be like,
Emperor
fuck
bugs
you,
after
Emperor.
Yeah.
But then they kind of pissed on that in a way because not all of them died. All of a sudden, you got Jedis who shot over here and shot. I mean, Darth Vader's Padawan's still alive. Ahsoka's she hung out. I mean, she's in the new Rebels season 2, and her and Darth Vader are going to throw down on each other, and that's.
And there's got to be a lot of personal feelings behind that.
Which is kind of fascinating, I mean, it's an interesting expanded area there with Vader and his Padawan, and.
Mm-hmm.
That should be. I'm kind of stoked to see that too.
Yeah, I mean that'll be
They couldn't
really.
even keep Darth Maul killed off.
Yeah, he kept coming back.
And that to me was one of the biggest no-nos with the Star Wars because he had such a hype, even more of a hype than I'll say Kylo Ren had. He was
Definitely.
And he gets the axe within the first fucking movie. Are you kidding me?
He has one 10-minute fight scene. That's it.
And he was potentially one of the best characters they came out of the woodwork with. There was so much they could have done with him.
But here's my thing.
That's why they couldn't keep him
Obi-Wan
killed
killed
off.
him out of anger. Does that mean Obi-Wan turned to the dark side for like 5 seconds?
Yep, there you go.
He was like, no!
He got a little taste.
Well, if some of the theories are true out there, and Obi-Wan is Rey's father, he clearly wasn't following all the Jedi code anyhow. If that be the case, and he's related to Rey.
Eternal Max Rebo.
I'm not buying that theory.
Max Rebo's Soul Edition, you know.
Well, no, he was coming down on Anakin for having relations, and then, you know...
That's kind of hypocritical.
Oh, very much so.
I mean,
so.
if you look at the Clone Wars, he was like googly eye with the Mandalorian Queen the whole time too, you know.
Yes, that's what kind of gives a little bit of credence to that. Okay, maybe he did do a little hooking up on the side. We just didn't see that.
And then when she died, he was like
light speed travel.
Yeah. Then when then when she dies at the end of like that arc, he's like, it's like, I'm done. I'm not loving anybody else.
Well, at least they got married
Which
too. There
probably
was some
means he had
respect
sex,
behind
yeah.
it. So I can't have sex and get married and do the right thing, but you can go and be dig deep in all kinds of Dagobah chicks.
Oh god, a
No
woman from
Twi'leks.
Dagobah. She probably smells like ass all the time. Nothing but
ass.
swamp. She's got a bad case of swamp ass, literally, you know.
I just wonder what happened to the whole race of females on Yoda's planet. Like, what happened to that species? There was only
like
two
one
of
of the
them.
harems and had them all in his tent and
Yeah.
shit. Like,
There was that little redheaded one that was in episode 1.
Yeah, Yaddle or whatever her name
Yeah.
was.
She disappeared.
Apparently they all have Y's for names. You know, there's Yoda, Yaddle.
Yep.
You know, yeah.
now, with me showing my
Yeah.
ignorance
Yeah.
here, she's hanging up in the
Yep, Skippy
collection
Doodles.
vault. What's the deal with? Explain Mara Jade to me. What's that all about? What's her deal or connection?
Well, there's all kinds of stuff there. That'd be like what Luke Skywalker's wife, mother to Ben Skywalker, the right hand of the Emperor. She's like chilling out in Jabba the Hutt's palace, trying to like kill old Luke at one point. But
Oh, no shit.
we didn't see that. That's only in the book, though.
See, I got them in the
That's
book
the
in the
problem.
2-pack.
You gotta read a lot of books to see the whole picture of the Star Wars universe. The movies just give you snippet.
Unless they cut those books out. And it's like, well, I just wasted time reading that.
Yeah.
Well, that does suck, but I mean, it also promotes reading, which is still good, children.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't, it doesn't matter that you read it. It won't mean nothing, but you learnt words.
Education's good, even if you never hear from that storyline again.
It's like last month's issue of Playboy. Read it once, throw it out.
Yeah.
I mean, how far did they go with that?
Well, that's
Like,
all you can do with it now.
Yeah.
You have to read.
Yeah.
the people that like wrote those stories like held somewhere like in a cave or something now.
Yeah. You will finish what you started.
Like a Russian soldier walking up there with like a fucking AK.
No one will read your stories.
Yeah. You got.
Well, I never did even read the last arc of books that they came out with because I was kind of like traumatized not to do it, which was supposed to kind of cover, I guess, the Jason Solo horror moment that happens, and then it's like Luke being persecuted, which is very close to what's going on in the movies kind of currently, but I didn't read it because it was like, yeah, well, this ain't gonna matter now.
You know what pisses me off about the end of episode 7
The
is
lack
Luke.
of dialogue?
Well, yeah, Luke just standing over there going, you know, he gets that look on his face, and it's you kind of just want to add kung pao noises to it the whole time, you know.
Like, speak, say something.
Yeah.
Like, I just,
Oh.
I don't like that scene at all. I would have been extremely more content with Rey and Chewie taking the Falcon and flying off to go find him.
And-
I'd have been fine if credits would have rolled right
Yeah,
there.
cut scene there.
Oh shit, are they gonna find him? Now, I mean, I gotta see episode 8 anyway,
Yeah,
but now, hurry up and make this fucking movie so I can find out if they found him.
Yeah, you know, but they get to the they get to the planet.
They
there.
show that he gets found, and it's kind of like, well, now what?
Yeah, it's just the look on his face the whole time, like, oh.
We're gonna go into super chaining.
From
mode.
a back end point, I can kind of understand that, Mark Hamill's old, and any of them can kick the bucket any day now.
Yeah.
So you gotta shoot everything you can and hope it's gonna fit if something does happen.
Yeah.
That's a horrible thing.
Well,
He dies
but
on
it's
set,
a
they just
realistic
leave him there.
approach.
I'm off to work, honey. I gotta film as much as I can. They're scared I'm gonna die any day now.
But that's a realistic approach to the production side of it. If for some reason Mark Hamill does pass away before like all of his stuff is done for episode 8, they could leave the shot that they left in episode 7 and, you know, he trained Rey off screen, you know, in case he can never be shown in episode 8.
And then do a montage at the beginning of him, you know, I will remember you.
And just use, you know, old like daily footage from that scene to, you know, fill in gaps.
Yeah.
You have really fucked me up here. Like, now I'm picturing like the nurse that like comes and gets like draws blood from you every 4 hours. Like, I know you're tired, but we don't know with you. I mean, you got a bad ticker, man. Come on, you gotta get up.
Yeah.
He's fucking old.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie
I mean,
Fisher.
honestly, I think Carrie Fisher would probably die before Mark Hamill, just because of
The cocaine.
her life events after the
They're
original
gonna retire
trilogy.
the gold Brazil.
Yeah, she kind of ruined the Princess Leia thing for me, seeing her in the new ones. It's like, ooh, you didn't age so well.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, Han, how's it going?
part of that
I heard
was
that voice.
the problem.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
she
she's
had
still
back
a little hot now. Maybe like
She cleaned
I
up.
don't blame Han Solo for being like, I'm gonna just fucking travel to space lanes.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not.
Hey,
chilling
Chewie,
at the house.
let's leave now.
They-
We're batshit crazy.
They,
Let's
they
go,
kind of
Chewie.
tied that into her real life, because after the original trilogy, when she had a problem, she was extremely hard to get along with, and I feel like the way they tied in, you know, they're we'll say separated at best.
for the kids watching, this means she had sinus problems.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, she had a sinus problem.
Allergies.
Yeah.
But that
Oh fuck!
factors
If
into
kids are
why
still watching
she
after
didn't
this
age
point,
well.
I'm like,
Yeah.
We've already passed the Deadpool rating.
Speaking of, I watched that last night.
You liked it, didn't you?
I just had my first watching this weekend too.
yeah, you were just saying that.
Yeah.
You were just saying
It's
that.
too many fucking chunga
Until 2 in the morning.
Now, how about this as a theory? What if they treated those? What if, as a happy medium, to still give those authors the props they deserve, and Disney can kind of still continue whatever fucked up storyline they're on, like treating it like almost like a DC Elseworlds kind of deal.
That's
like maybe
kind of
it's,
how they.
you know,
They kind of said it's more like
a what if kinda.
multi-universe concept with their stories now. You know, say, oh well, you know, they didn't happen in this timeline or this universe, but they happened in an alternate universe.
So it's like the Legend of Zelda timeline.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all kinds of
If
fuck.
Link doesn't kill Ganon in Ocarina of Time, this happens.
Yeah.
If Ganon kills Link, this happens.
If Boba Fett wasn't
and if
cloned,
Link never did
he became
anything,
he was
this
just,
happens.
you know, Boba Fett wasn't cloned. Oh no, he was just a former sheriff on, you know, Concord Dawn that turned rogue and became a bounty hunter, and you know, because Concord Dawn was just a shitty place to begin with.
Well, a lot of those books were contradicting themselves even back then. Like what Jedi Academy, I think, was just like really off the beaten path
Yeah.
with that, and it had nothing to do with the original timeline.
And then, you know, for the Dengar story, you had like Dengar was, you know, born on what was it, Corellia,
I think so.
and him and Han Solo got in a race, and he was after Han Solo pretty much made him a crispy critter and threw him into some crystals in a
Didn't they
race.
say Han was like a pod racer, which I thought Anakin was the only pod racer?
It's something like pod racing. It was more like speeder bike racing or something like that.
I know that's how
yeah.
he got his scar and
Yeah.
bandages on
Yeah.
Dengar's head.
When Dengar, you know, met up with Han Solo, you want to know how I got these scars? He'd keep licking his lips every 5 seconds. But yes, I mean the expanded universe really kind of when Disney was like, yeah, so we're killing off LucasArts. Yeah, we're killing off LucasArts. 1313 won't happen. I was like, there is no Star Wars. There is only Zool.
You gotta have the history.
Yeah.
Gotta have it all.
1313 was going to kind of give us that, you know, the Boba Fett fans that knew, he's too old to be in this fucking movie. You know, that kind
Even though you held out hope.
I held out hope, dude.
Until I laid out detailed timelines of why he's too fucking old.
I mean, him and Han could be the same. Well, they could be the same age.
Here he comes with a walker, like, I found you now. Just give me a few
I
seconds to catch
assume
my
that he
breath.
still climbed out the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, I mean, Disney actually says he does. So
I mean, he survived that.
yeah, I figured he'd be like this, badass sitting on a throne. Hey there, Han. Guess what? Yeah, I'm still awesome.
Well, they gave him a plug
robot
for the
chicken plug there.
Mandalorians in the new film. I mean, we got a big, nice flag of Mandalorian.
Yeah. You got the skull, and then you got like Fett's crest, I think, on there as well.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
There's still hope.
Yeah, there's always hope. A new hope, hopefully.
I
But
don't know who he'd be chasing. I mean,
Yeah.
Han's dead, but maybe.
yeah,
Oh, if they think they can make millions of dollars, they'll have him chase somebody.
yeah.
But we
They
don't
can
know
make a few
Han's
bucks
dead.
off
Just
it.
because he got lightsaber through the heart.
It
It
fell
was
down the bottomless chasm.
cauterized.
Yeah,
Something could have happened down
Yeah.
there. You don't know what happened down
he
there.
could have
We didn't
landed
see a
on.
corpse.
He could have landed on like the pillow factory down there.
I mean,
Yeah, if Luke's hand can survive,
like, yeah, where did that lightsaber go from? I mean, where did they find that shit? It went down a
Yeah.
pipe, too.
Yeah, it
was
fell
a dream
in the
sequence.
Cloud
It's like,
City.
Cold sweat.
Wasn't Bespin nothing but like a giant gas planet?
yeah, it's basically just Jupiter.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the Empire, like, royally fucked it up, too, after Lando, like, screwed him.
Yeah. They just threw a match on it and walked away. You just see one giant. You just see it go.
About the only thing a stormtrooper could hit.
Yeah.
Besides Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Lando, he really
And
went
the
down to
fucking
history
Jawa
as a
cruiser.
scumbag, didn't he? Like, he was just asshole number one.
I saw. Speaking of that, John, I did see a funny picture. It was like this stormtrooper that shot Leia. They had like this big ceremony for him, gave him an award. He had this giant fucking medal for hitting something. He was like greatest fucking stormtrooper ever. I think is what it said or something like that. I have to see if I can find it.
Oh, somebody has to make like a fan version of that. That would be epic. A dork
You
would
heard
be
it,
on that in
fans.
like 2 minutes.
Make it. So yeah, now that we've kind of gotten off of on another hour-long tangent, let's go on to what we'd like to see from the Star Wars. I think we've already answered that.
Never
I
let
think
J.J.
Boba
Abrams
Fett's
direct
doing
it
that.
again.
I would like, I would personally like to see them just go out and make side stories for a lot of these characters that didn't really get a lot of time in the movies. Like the Bounty Hunters. IG-88 had a fucking fantastic story in the Tales from the Bounty Hunters,
Which is also covered in Shadows of the Empire.
which will never happen now. Thank you. You disappointed me.
We were talking about Bosk earlier. He's one of my favorites. I mean, that whole lineup from Empire of all the bounty hunters, each one of them was awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, you got, Zuckuss and Forlom. They were kind of hanging out,
Which was the greatest part of
driving a Prius, according to MC Chris.
Star Wars and the toys was those little lesser known characters through their toys is what made them like epic, and people were inspired by their little like IG-88 figure. I'm like, I'm gonna write a story about him. And there we go. From a little toy, we got like somebody went to college and learned how to write a book, and I'm envious. That fucker got paid for writing Star Wars stories, and I don't.
I would love to see one of those History Channel like documentaries made like between Greedo and Han. So like treat it like the JFK magic bullet.
Like the one behind the music thing.
We all know who shot first. It was no mystery.
Oh, here we go.
Lucas just edited that shit later. Let's just be honest. We know.
Here we go.
It's a conspiracy in that.
Yeah, Han pulled out a
history.
walkie-talkie at that point,
Even though it's not canon, I would like to see something done with the Rogue Squadron storylines.
Yeah.
And they could take it off of Rogue One, because they're going to be Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
The beginnings of. And the Rogue Squadron games, it's arguable that they took place, between Hope and Empire and after Jedi, because it's a troop that Luke led on, like, the outline areas that haven't been cleared of the Empire yet.
Yeah.
So, maybe not take the exact game storyline, but I want to see Rogue One do well enough to make Rogue Squadron have a mark.
Well, they were classic good games. I mean, all of them.
Except for Super Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Those are still being downloaded to this day.
They went back.
Yeah, but not being beaten.
Yeah, I actually had the option to get that today with
You can cheat and do like, you know, but Game Genie back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I do remember beating a few of them. The hardest part was getting that damn Falcon out the Death Star without blowing that shit up. That's not easy. I mean, they make it look really easy. They lose just like a damn satellite dish. No, I could tear that shit up until I ran out of continues.
And let's face it, I mean, with Disney at the helm now, they wasted no time with the franchise. As soon as they purchased it, the next day, yeah, we're releasing a movie.
Yeah,
they're going to get as much money
I mean,
as they can.
Disney, whenever they got a hold of the thing, they were like, yeah, we're upgrading our parks with Star Wars, everything, you know. You go to Hollywood Studios, they got this whole section now that's just nothing but Star Wars.
Well,
You know,
it's epic to go down there. I've been 2 or 3 times to the Star Wars weekend.
Yeah.
And it's,
now,
for a true Star Wars fan, it is Mecca.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I got the blaster and helmet from, you know, was there. And I mean, every time I go down there, it's like,
That's the blaster I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I gotta bring my blaster.
yeah. Oh, pick it up and fire it real quick.
I'd like to see Disney
Oh, that's
drop
right.
EA as the exclusive game developer.
So it doesn't break. That's sweet.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they even selling to Disney now, being that they're getting a little bit tight about that stuff.
Yeah, they still sell the Star Wars stuff because I mean, you know, you gotta
You
sell.
can't have a helmet though.
You gotta sell the lightsaber, you know.
Oh, you got the Dooku hilt with that.
Yeah, you can actually customize and build your own lightsaber down there now.
Well,
Yeah,
like I
those
just said, I'd like to
droids.
see them sell off game rights away from E EA.
Yeah, because I played Battlefront and that was not
Well-
the Battlefront I wanted.
Well, EA is just so they've got their niche, and you know,
Yeah, sports and Battlefield.
sports, and like Need for Speed and stuff like that.
Yeah, sports, Need for Speed, Battlefield, and
I
Sims.
hate to say it, but I'd have rather Battlefront been developed by the Call of Duty team.
yeah, I agree with you completely.
And I am not a Call of Duty person at all.
I didn't mind the play action of it. My problem was just that there was no story mode. I mean, you give us like all these variations of ways to play it, but what we want is something that's like story driven.
And there's
like
no space
that.
battles.
And EA
No
is
space battle. I mean, it's air battles, but no space
and
battles.
EA is so narrow-minded that they're just gonna stick with what they've done. So we're never gonna get like another Shadows of the Empire or 1313 or
Oh, God, I was so
That
disappointed when
Darth
they
Maul
canceled
game
13.
that they had, like, I mean, it was about halfway in production. I mean, they had everything laid out. They were ready to roll with it. Just a straight up game
Yeah.
based off of Darth Maul.
yeah, it was like 90% done.
Yeah, and it's just sitting out there in limbo, and I mean, it looked epic. It was
Yeah.
like the Force Unleashed franchise.
Pretty
Which-
much from
The
what
first one was good. Second one sucks.
From what I researched on it, pretty much all they had to do was start marketing it and
Cut it
do
loose.
the final trademarks and printing it. It was pretty much
So they were that close.
90. It was pretty much 90%
There were
done.
still
It was like the
shots
Nicolas
of it.
Cage Superman. They were that close.
Yeah.
They could
All
already
right.
be distributing,
That would have been bad.
destroyed.
No Nicolas Cage as
and,
Superman.
and then they
Yeah.
just cut it.
I'm from Krypton, man.
Three years of work. Just, nope.
But that all came about at that point too, when the company was being switched. I mean, there was a lot of things when Disney
In
and
transition.
Lucas made their merger that just got iced and then done, chopped.
Yeah, I mean, completely just obliterated from any kind of history book, you know?
So let me ask you this, and it's inevitable just because if they see potential to make millions, they'll do it. Treating it almost like an X-Men Origins kind of deal, do you see a proper Boba Fett solo film?
They're actually in production with
Yeah,
one.
they've been talking
See,
a lot
there's
about that.
no way they would miss the chance with that. There's no
Now,
way.
whether they'll do it justice, I think we're gonna have to wait until Rogue One comes out
Yeah.
to see how these side stories go.
And they need to go ahead and hurry up because Tamora Morrison's getting, like, old.
Han Solo, a little like solo shot in there, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
They talk of like doing the Yoda origin story, which has been greatly sought after.
Yeah, I
ever
mean,
since.
that would be
I
epic
would be
if they
very interested in that.
I mean, when the whole acquisition was made, they made the statement that there's going to be a Star Wars movie every year for the next 100 years. So
Yeah, so Rogue One, then...
they got a bunch of shit to cover.
So these board members have been real busy with their demands. Like someone actually raised their hand and was like, I want my cousin Forrest Whitaker to be in one of these.
Yeah. You know, just as long as they don't have like the Gungan
Everybody
King,
wants
you know.
to be in the Star Wars film. I mean, if you can get the opportunity, why would you
Yeah.
not want your face in that franchise? I mean, it's just good to put on your resume.
Or even
Or
not
in
even your
Forrest
face.
Whitaker's
They're
case,
just like,
two
here,
faces.
put the stormtrooper uniform on. Are you gonna tell them no?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy. Just
You're
to
gonna
wear
die
outfit.
3 seconds after I say action.
But Forrest Whitaker, I mean, like his
I'd do
career
it for
was pretty
free
much
if I could just take
dead.
my shit
Yeah,
home.
and then all of a sudden he's like,
And then all of a sudden, old
Rogue
Dayquil,
One.
NyQuil is back on the big screen.
But the mainline movies,
He's gonna sue the shit out of me.
I don't think we ever have to worry about the mainline movies because there's too much dedication. Like, you know, the guy that got beat down for spoiling Han Solo, there's too much fan dedication there. These side stories, I'm slightly skeptical about because they can do more or less what they want to, you know, write these new chapters because it's a Star Wars story. It's not Star Wars. So, I really think we gotta see how Rogue One does before we can be like, okay, all of these side stories are gonna be top tier as well.
yeah.
They're not dragging ass. They're not slacking off.
Well, they can't afford
Good
another
quality
episode
stuff.
one.
Well, it's like the
kind of-
Marvel like franchise too. I mean, they got the main powerhouse films that are keeping the universe kind of going on an arc, but you get
But
the
they also
like,
have Fantastic Four.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
and that's gonna happen
And
sometime. But
I'm
Fantastic
worried that Rogue One
Four is
might go
outside the
Fantastic
family.
Four.
Is Fantastic
That
Four
one
really
don't
that
count,
bad?
does it?
I mean,
That's outside of the Disney family with Fantastic Four.
I watched
Fox
it. It
owns
was-
it, but the
They-
way they own it, they have to make a movie. I think it's every 5 years, or else they relinquish the rights back to Marvel proper.
Yeah.
But even still, it's still Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name is
Fox,
there.
Fox
It
owns
wasn't
it,
the
but
worst
the Marvel
movie in the
pops
world.
up.
It really
It does.
wasn't. I mean, the thing with no pants, that was a bit uncomfortable, but
So yeah, now that we've kind of talked about, well,
Everything
everything.
else.
Yeah. We might as well get into the collectibles portion. So this will be another hour-long discussion about collectibles. You know, we had 1 hour-long episode worth of collectibles, but you know, for Star Wars, that really was kind of the deal because you had to get the mail-in order Boba Fett action figure with the rocket launcher. If you didn't get that, then you were kind of screwed because, you know, after his rocket would launch and shot a kid in the eye, you know, because Boba Fett was a badass and didn't care if he hurt kids or not, you know. So anyway, you know, I see y'all brought some collectibles, and Josh, I know you've got one collectible that you were wanting to show off. So,
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
already seen all your shit.
yeah, everybody's seen my Star Wars collection. I mean, it's
2 weeks ago, you got all this vaults that you couldn't hold for 2 weeks.
I know, man. I was like, books.
so I just put together a theory. Maybe those little don't give a shit guns that shoot and poke people. Maybe that hit Forrest Whitaker as a kid.
Yeah.
And to make up for it, they're like, you know, I feel real bad about what happened a couple of years ago.
You've been assaulted.
Let's just go ahead and put you in the movie to make up for that.
So,
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
for like I said, most people that were Star Wars fans, they had to get, you know, the lightsaber. Remember when the lightsabers came out in like the 90s and kids were like, I gotta have that because it would make the noise, you know.
I broke like a dozen of
Yeah,
those
you
things.
turn it on and this one doesn't do it, but you know,
You hit it and it goes ching.
that one's battery's obviously dead.
Yeah, and there was no like when your
Yeah.
parents are like, well, don't hit each other and just like swing in the air. Like, nah, bullshit.
Yeah.
Get the
Okay.
hell out of each other.
I mean,
You're
you know,
dead.
That's what I'm terrified of with my FX quality one. It's like, this thing's too nice. I don't want to beat things with
Yeah.
it. But I mean, I still do, and I
That was
want
like-
to fight somebody with it.
That was like when we went to Soda City Comic Con. Remember the guy had the FX series lightsaber?
Yeah,
Darth
they had
Vader
the
costume?
lightsaber duel, and there was like a medieval knight guy, so it was
Yeah.
lightsaber versus
A giant fat
sword
elf. You
and
know.
shield.
I've never seen a fat elf before until that day. I mean, it was pretty.
He was
pretty
kicking
much.
ass though.
Yeah, he was. For being a fat guy, he moved pretty quickly. I said, darn, he must have took the same exercise plan I did.
Unfortunately, it was dark, so we didn't get the greatest footage of that.
But that lightsaber, I mean, it was
kind of grainy, but
it was epic. It would light up from the bottom all the way to the end, you know, and made the noises.
And of course, he was dressed as Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So it was like Darth Vader versus Gimli.
Yeah.
There was a YouTube video that surfaced a few years back of a kid that just came up to Ray Park, the actor that played Toad in Darth Maul, and
Yeah.
and he was like, can you do a little something? He was like, a little something. He's just like, oh, like whoa, and just like fucking shit up, and that and they got like 1 million hits. I mean, that was really cool how he pulled that off. And I know that there are some, honest to God, I'm not making this up. There are some like actual training sessions and studios that'll teach you lightsaber dueling. It's not like with a sword. It's a different kind of hold. It's a different kind of stance, and they really go all out to teach people how to do this, whether it be for their fan-made films that they need to learn how to do that kind of stuff. I mean, the chick that plays Rey, she
got a video out right now.
Yeah, she's got one.
Training,
and that's gnarly. That's really
it's like they
wicked.
show you the special features of what Anakin and Obi-Wan, what they did in episode 3 to get that timing down and all. It's pretty funny to watch them in their bloopers of like hitting each other and shit to get that right.
I'm scared I'll get out of hand and like hit my big screen TV by mistake. I'll be on the fails video. That'll be
That's a do it outside type of thing.
It's like playing with the Wii and losing the remote.
Yeah. Throwing it through the TV and all of a sudden you're like, shit. Which seems to be quite common in most of our videos nowadays. Someone yelling, shit.
Now that's a missed opportunity in and of itself. Like with the nunchucks, just have like the what was it? The Star Wars arcade, where there was like a portion where you can like duel, literally with it. That would have been.
We did
all
it.
kinds
It
of cool.
sucked. We
Yeah, it was-
made it and it
Oh,
was
they
like,
did?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
too
terrible.
fucking slow. I mean, like
Oh, I
kicking
didn't-
ass
I didn't
and
know
it
that.
didn't. Yeah, it didn't, dude.
They basically used the same engine as the Twilight Princess one, because that was the Legend of Zelda where you actually controlled the sword motions. But it only worked in 3 ways: slash, forward, and stab. You couldn't do
Oh,
like
you couldn't be all badass and
Yeah.
no. You had to follow certain
You
motion
would do
commands.
that and you'd get your ass whipped because it was like Mortal Kombat lightsaber fights and you're doing all this shit and yeah, you're getting it here and there, but you had to be like,
You'll eventually get like, oh, stab.
Yeah.
And you're
Wow,
wow,
shit.
wow, wow. You doing the fucking flippy around and all that.
you
And
had
it's
to
like,
go
oh,
slow-mo.
diagonal.
Oh,
So it
that's
doesn't. It
such
didn't read
lost
active
potential.
commands.
Damn, I'd be like all kinds of.
Oh, if it fucking read active commands and like allowed for like dual support with the nunchuck, you get a dual saber. I'd be all over that shit.
That other game was pretty bad too. That what was it? Dance like Revolution Star Wars fucking style, which
Yeah.
is like
That was bad.
oh man,
that was
like,
bad.
That was fun to play as the Rancor though, and like go around Tatooine and smash stuff.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was epic.
So do you guys feel that for such a franchise that has an obvious winning formula for video games, they just haven't lived up to the hype? Like, wasn't there fighting Jedi battles and that for the first PlayStation? That thing was...
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just
that Masters
horrible
of the Terra Casa or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was an epic game.
I feel like the technology now, like with the Wii and PlayStation Move and all that, they could make an epic like lightsaber duel game.
Yeah, they could. I mean,
Or even with the VR coming, please make a fucking VR first person something where I've got a goddamn lightsaber and
It can work.
and
real
it does
smart.
what I want to do.
I mean, being a pilot, like in the cockpit, like kind of wing commander style, and
Yeah, you go first person,
Shit.
and even on Nintendo 64, it was pretty immersive. I mean, you
The
got the
takeoff
control
and the-
stick.
That's why everybody plays Battlefront.
And the
so
trigger
much.
on the back
It's all
of
you
the
got
control.
right now.
yeah.
I mean, it's literally all there is Battlefront. There is no Star Wars games out there unless you go backward to, find like some Republic Commando or something.
Yeah.
That was, because that was a good franchise. I like the Republic Commando games.
Or the original Battlefront game.
Yeah, the original
Both of
Battlefront
those
games
were
had some
good.
awesome, I mean, just space battles, which I'm still kind of pissed off about. EA has really pissed me off with that.
or even like in racing. Like I remember having the
Pod
pod
racer.
Yeah, the pod racer game.
It
Actually-
felt like Wipeout of sorts, like how the futuristic spaceship kind of, but it still was missing that key, that winning factor.
Well, like Starfighter, 1 and 2 did that, where it was flying, piloting, and
Yeah.
introduced
Mhm.
story, and it gave it a little bit more feel. Whereas like that pod racing game was just kind of like, all right, race, nothing to
There's not really
Achieve.
cutscenes or any story. It's just
upgrade your
Alright, buy
God.
this new engine, go to this world that you've never heard of.
What about
Race
Dark
through
Forces?
this tube through Atlantis.
Dark Forces on the PlayStation 1, that was...
That was a hard one.
you could smell that one down the street. You really
Still had to play it though, because I mean that was that Kyle Katarn thing.
and
I think
its
that was
choices
his
were
game,
limited.
wasn't it? Because it was Dark Forces 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Didn't they have another one?
Yeah.
Jedi Academy. They made a game
And
of where
At
you
the
got
end,
to-
it turns out you were the bad guy. Which pissed people off.
Yeah.
I never played it hands-on, but it didn't have like a Doom kind
Oh,
of
spoiler.
feel to it. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I'll never play it. Oh, shit, you can spoil away. I think better things to do on Steam than that shit.
I still think best all-time Star Wars video game though would have been the first Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
All-time, probably my favorite Star Wars game.
I would say Shadows of the Empire or the PS1 Phantom Menace game.
Yeah, that was fun too.
That was hard as hell.
I'll pull a
hard
rabbit
as
out of my
fuck,
ass
but
and I'll
it-
say bounty hunter.
I don't think I ever got
It
past
stayed,
yeah,
it.
dude,
it
Bounty Hunter
stayed
that
to the
far.
story,
Yeah.
which
There was like some part after the pod racing scene that I kept getting my ass kicked on where you had to go see Jabba the Hutt or something. To like, because it was kind of a little bit different. You had to go beg Jabba for some more help after getting
Yeah.
the parts, and it was like, I can't do this. It's too
it was
much.
hard as shit. But fun, because I mean, it was responsive, it did what you wanted it to do, and there was room to kind of make your own adventure a little bit. You know, you followed the story for the most part, but there were areas where like you could sneak through the vents or whatever, and
Yeah.
you know, that didn't happen. You don't have to go guns blazing all the time.
It
Yeah.
actually, I think, was the game that explained to me what the hell happened to Obi-Wan's lightsaber in the first one, because, you know, he just kind of didn't have his shit for a second there, and it's like, well, what happened? Well, the fucker got his lightsaber wet. Clearly that's bad, you know. You don't want to get your lightsaber. And that's pivotal, because later on that would come back when he's like, look, your lightsaber's your life, Anakin. I mean, we needed that moment in that first movie, and they just totally chopped it, but there it was in the game. It was like, oh, that's why his shit didn't work in the movie. Now I get it.
So you want to show stuff off now?
Yeah, why don't we show off a few collectibles that we've brought? You know, of course, you know, this is the top cave, so I have all my collectibles here. So we'll go ahead and show what y'all brought. So,
Omar?
you want to go first?
Well, let's see. We have Admiral Akbar.
That's a trout.
And John managed to fish out the old helmet here.
Captain Rex.
Captain Rex helmet.
Nice.
Damn thing still works, and you guys got to turn up the volume all the way. There we go. You guys can turn the volume down there. Yeah, anything vintage with Star Wars, you really can't go wrong. And these days, it's an investment in the house.
Yeah.
With the way the collector's market is, it always has been, always will be the gold standard. And
It
in
takes
my
up the
opinion,
bulk of my collection, that's for sure.
Yeah.
damn right it does.
I mean, I've got like a
That's
whole
my
shelf right
retirement
there
fund.
dedicated to nothing but Star Wars. Another shelf dedicated to Alien, Predator, and Prometheus. So.
I had to buy a new house for my collection. I had to move out of one.
I mean, how often do you see people sending away their Star Wars figures to have them like almost like CGC
Like a
graded, and then like encased in like big glass, like never see the light of day
And
again?
have an insurance policy on them?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I mean, that it's really the only franchise you hear about people doing that with. You know, you don't hear that with. It's a
And,
you don't
and
hear
the
with
fact that you
Transformers
can
or-
do that shows how big it is. 'Cause
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You can't be like, well, I got this, I don't know, what's something new?
Yokai watch.
Yeah, I got this yokai watch, you know, spooky ghost, whatever. Give me insurance on it. Well, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, there's like 50,000 of them sitting right there at like
I got
5 Walmarts.
I got this unopened Slave Leia from 1985 doll. Well, okay.
You can have all the monies!
Sign here, your policy's for $6,000.
Yeah.
You can't now because hasn't
Clearly
Disney
that
put
is-
the kibosh on it?
No, because I was just there in February, and there's figures all over the place with her in that damn slave outfit. I heard the thing that
Good.
there was no slave Leia outfits, but they sure as shit selling them. So, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's-
there.
So that was just a rumor that they were gonna.
It must be because they got whole packs there of like
That was
figures and
probably
whatnot.
just to appease that one guy that got offended.
Or create some hype and sell them all off the damn shelf.
Yeah,
Just
you
go
need to
find
go
a
and
Black
eat off of that
Series
stuff.
right now, Slave Leia. You won't find it in the 6-inch figure.
How many
Sure, like
relationships
a-
has that
right.
broken up? Like, why you need that fucking figure so badly?
Because she's in a slave outfit.
I
That's
don't know.
hot.
What does she have that I don't? Now, mind you, at the point she's comparing herself to an action figure.
Now,
This action figure doesn't argue when I jack off in front of it.
see, the relationship's fine when you come home one day and she's wearing that outfit.
Yeah, there you go. Then you just get down on one knee, put an onion ring on the finger. Okay, I'll get you the real deal later, but right now, will you go with me to Comic-Con?
No, that's when you pick up the chain, walking nipple pinchy.
Kids are not going
And
to
then-
anymore
and then we
because the
can't tell
computer
any
should have
more
turned
of
off
the
the
story.
lights.
Yeah. They know what they're getting into when they come to ToC.
Oh, so,
Alright,
y'all bring anything else?
No, just Akbar.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
just hang out with the Akbar.
I can't cheat on Akbar. It's my man there. Gotta do it.
So last TV show, hanging out with Akbar.
Okay, so now we got some space on the table. Here's what I brought. This was actually custom made for me 2-3 years ago.
Much fan.
Oh, wow.
The only problem is there's like a little Wedge or a Luke in there instead of a Han.
Way to go, Edge. You made it.
But it's
You ruined it, damn it.
You know what would have been cool is if they had turned like a wedge into a.
fully functional,
Son of a bitch works.
hollow box. I can plug it in, play it. It's got the Rebel logo up on the neck. And I guess when I get home I'll do a detailed shot so y'all can see it.
So you should start like a Star Wars tribute band and just like.
Everybody's instrument
Be
needs
the
to.
Cantina band. You know?
Yeah.
You know, of course you gotta have Star Wars strap to go with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, this was custom made by a local guy actually, and he did a pretty good job.
Oh yeah, you did an amazing job there. Like I said, if only you could. If
He
only you
even
had the
says
wedge.
Rebel Alliance brand.
You know what'd be cool is if you had the wedge whammy bar.
Well, I actually didn't spec this out.
Yeah.
It was a present for me. But I'm
Damn good present though.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
hell yeah.
pleased with it. I'd have made a couple of changes, like I'd have had a whammy bar
Yeah.
thrown on it, and instead of single coil pickup, I'd have gone humbuckers. But I've actually never plugged it in and played it. It's been in a box for the last 2 years because I don't want it to get messed up.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've brought it out.
That is nice.
You know, from a collector's point of view, man, that's yeah.
I can just hear one collector though. He ruined a perfectly good, Millennium Falcon storage box.
Go a little SNL on that.
Yeah.
Kind of did, but hey, it was worth it.
That's why you have two.
Yeah, Josh would have brought his,
It also doesn't fit in this.
Josh would have brought his Kylo Ren undercover boss action figure, but he left that
It's Matt.
on radar.
I'm a radar technician.
So, yeah, that was a pretty good show off of all the collectibles. So
Heck yeah.
I mean, everybody has their one thing that they collect. Certain characters, certain items, or either you go all out and buy it. Buy all the action figures. But now that we've gotten through all the collectibles, let's go ahead and get to the best part of the show, the ToCing Points. Yay! Each week we ask the viewers, what is their favorite this, what is their favorite that. We ask them a point that they can talk about. So last week's talking point was, what is your favorite lesser-known Star Wars character? Of course, I said, the bounty hunters other than Boba Fett and Jango Fett. There was Bosk, Dengar, Forlom,
IG-88.
IG-88. You know, and then there were, I can't remember if I had another answer along there with it. Josh, I think you said...
I said nothing.
Yeah, you didn't say anything.
But mine would be Dash Rendar from Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
Because he's like a Han Solo-like character, but he's a little more Deadpool, just PG.
Yeah.
I always like Lobot. He's like a DJ with them big old things on his head up in Cloud City. I mean, he's just back there mixing and whatnot. He was a cool lesser known. And I mean, even the little Ugnaught people, you know, they were kind of cool.
I don't know why I'm obsessed with this cat, but the trainer, the owner, what have you, of the Rancor.
Rancor Keeper.
Yeah, he was just an odd duck, man. He really, he I don't even know what to describe what he was wearing. It was odd.
Bondage.
He was odd, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was heartbroken when that thing got killed. He was just like, oh god, you know, it was like a Pokemon trainer stand over like Charmander.
Yeah.
He was just. I was always like, what is he? Who the the fuck?
Yeah.
That deserves an origin story. How did this come to be?
But he's also like the only other human that doesn't really take,
Palace,
you know, a main character slot.
Oh, and then the dancing. Oh,
It'll tell you the
Lord.
whole story about how he gets to Rancor and the whole nine. Tales from Jabba's palace. There's a lot going on in that palace you didn't realize.
The whole shaking and like he was doing like a bat ToC and just it was hard to watch.
What were the Bomar monks? Those are like cool as hell. The little spidery creature with the brain in the glass jar. You only like see it for like 2 seconds as it goes across in the background. But it's like, what the hell was that? And its figure is really worth collecting too. I mean, it's kind of a little special one.
Nice.
He's one of my favorites as well. I like the lesser known ones more than the bigger known, I think, because it's like the Ewoks and the different ones. You just got so many classic little characters that you don't know enough about them, so they intrigue you more. You're like,
Yeah, like Nien Nub, you know, he gets like
all,
one scene.
all the books and stuff that are about them, you know, open up all this whole other universe. That's
which
not
we're getting
canon.
back to the
Yeah.
point of those books getting the axe.
Yeah.
And that doesn't exist no more.
You can see Disney's CEO standing over him with, you know, just pouring gasoline on him. Yeah, this is fun. This is so much fun.
I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I mean, so much money could be made. Make a figure.
I remember going to FYE at the mall like about a year or so ago, and I was looking through like they have like some really cool selections of like rare finds DVDs and stuff, and they had the package set of the old 1985 Ewoks and Droids cartoon that came out.
Yeah.
And the animation of that thing sucked. It really did, but it only lasted a season. I think like even like half a season.
I remember watching it came on TV again in the mid '90s for a very short time period.
Yeah.
Okay, like one of those 3 a.m. time slots, like kind of.
I remember watching like 4 or 5 episodes.
It was like a playset of Weevils with a little tree, and you push the top.
Yeah, the figures, my God, they're worth more than some of the actual Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I don't have
figures.
it no more. That part's disappointing.
I think like the Boba Fett figure, but it's packaged in the cartoon Droids card, is worth like almost like $1 million right now. Damn thing is it's really sought after, and it's from a really cheap ass cartoon. That can't. Oh God! Well, I'm talking about that the Christmas special.
Oh God, yes.
I was about to mention that. That is the most valuable thing. If you
Wookiee
have a
like
copy
that?
of that,
I've never seen it. I've never seen it out in the
it's
wilds.
only been broadcast once.
Yes.
If you have a VHS recording of that, that is worth. It's pretty much priceless.
Yeah.
But do they shun that? Like, because every time somebody tries to put it on YouTube, it gets pulled down quick.
Yes.
So is that one of those? Oh fuck no! I don't have none of that.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, Lucas was like, I didn't mean to.
he was pressured into doing that for PR purposes, and I think it was broadcast live, and nobody was prepared.
Well, was it the fact that people were getting butthurt over the fact that it was like almost like a disrespect to Christmas? Like, didn't they call Christmas like Life Day or something like that?
Yeah.
And that was that what caused all the shenanigans?
I think it was half that and half. Why the fuck is Luke and Leia and Darth Vader sitting around a table being cheery at Christmas time?
Yeah.
Wow.
because they're a family.
Oh, Lord.
I mean,
Though we might
it
not
was
have known
like
yet.
the what is it, Sonny and Cher Variety Hour style
Yeah.
thing. And
And
It
with
just
not
wasn't
bad
Star
1970s lighting, too.
Wow.
no, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure if you recorded that for whatever reason,
Oh, I'm quite sure someone's
and you
got
still
it.
have that VHS,
You're rich.
you can name your price.
Just make sure you make a copy.
Well, the ultimate hardcore Star Wars collectors will see that out. They'll try their best to get their hands on that, just because it's that rare.
And if I had one, that would be like the Holy Grail. You don't sell this. I've actually been trying to compile it from YouTube, like snatch it down, because they don't put the whole thing up. It's
No,
just
they
like
put
little
it-
snippets.
They yank it just as soon as it goes up.
There's that, and I'm not exactly sure what the authentic order should be.
Because was it like a mix of like animation? Because it was like a Boba Fett segment in like animation. Like I never seen them animated before.
Yeah,
I
and it
enjoyed
was like Space Ghost style animation.
Yeah.
It seemed to look a little better, like almost like the people that did the original what's that, Heavy Metal kind of
Yeah.
animation.
It
looked
was
pretty
like
good.
that almost.
Anyway,
Yeah, so anyway.
I'm gonna start digging through my tapes.
So anyway, let's go ahead and answer some of the fansers for this week, and Omar,
Actually-
we'll let you.
that might have still been Betamax.
Yeah.
Oh God!
So if you get some Betamax
Ooh.
tapes, start checking that shit.
Got nowhere to watch it.
So anyway, Omar, we'll let you read the first talking point because I don't know
You're
how to.
the only one that knows how to say her name.
Yeah.
All right, this one comes from my very dear friend Ari, and she writes, "I had no clue who Darth Raven was until 2 months ago. I instantly fell in love with him. Yeah, from what I saw, just awesome character. I loved it. I loved the design, the whole mystique of that character
that was
altogether.
the other one I had. Was Darth Revan. I mean, he's just like, just this guy that goes from Jedi to Sith, wearing a Mandalorian mask at the same time. So I was like, it's a Mandalorian Jedi at first, and I was like, wait, no, he's not.
And my Mick Foley cheap plug, if you guys get a chance, check out Ari Nova. She's a very well accomplished author, wrote the Books of Gondar series. Her first book is out now called Spark. Definitely check her out. Ari, love you. I think I just made about $15 off that cheap plug, so I'm good to go with that.
Put the link for that in the description.
There we go. I'll advertise anything, folks. Tide detergent. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I'll find a way to sneak it in around here if you pay me enough.
Omar, especially Dunkin' Donuts coffee, right?
Oh, well.
Plug.
Blurred.
So our next answer comes from Amanda, who writes, I have never seen the Star Wars series.
Why?
I think we're all just glaring at the camera right now.
I think I commented on that, didn't
Yeah,
I?
I
I didn't know
that.
people like that existed, like finding a unicorn.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know.
Alright, look. I'll set the projector up in the backyard. You can come to the house and we're gonna watch all of them, even the bad ones.
Yeah.
But we're gonna watch all of them and you'll understand.
You know, that's a cool response because there's so many hate factions and groups on these fan pages of like, oh, you don't know who Optimus Prime is, or you don't know what a snake eye. Like, screw that, man. If you allow us, we will videotape it and make like a big spectacle out of this. Like, I would love to see if we can get like a grand show, like big screen, just really go all out. For someone should really try and make an attempt at that. If you're gonna experience this, go down swinging.
People who have never seen Star Wars react
Oh,
to seeing
yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Fine Brothers.
Yeah.
You know what, Miss Amanda, we're gonna make that happen for you. We're gonna make a big old spectacle about this. We're gonna make sure you see this thing in style. Unless you've already seen it, then just enjoy and just save us a bunch
Probably
of money.
Charlie should ignore what she's heard on a lot of this because there's
I
a
got
lot
the
of
equipment.
spoilers that have happened. So.
Yeah.
I got the equipment.
Oh,
Yeah, you do
Shit.
have
Yeah, we've learned all kinds of key pivotal things.
You've seen Star Wars now.
stop the tape! Stop the tape!
But anyway, our next fancer comes from Jen, who writes, I like the Ewoks. Not anyone in particular. because I can't remember names anyway for most of them. But anyway, getting back to her,
Yoda.
just in general, and even though R2-D2 is not a lesser known character, I like him too.
In fact, you can shave your Yoda.
But
I think Wicked's the only one that really had
Yeah.
a personality. They were just
But Jim-
cannon fodder other than
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the
there's
Ewoks
background.
themselves, yeah.
That one had a pretty epic moment when he's like, and like shaking the other one that got blown up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that's kind of sad.
You know, he wasn't shaking him because he got blown up. He was a necrophiliac, and he was over there just like,
Just
yeah, I'm gonna make you feel good, you dead buddy.
they were kind of creepy.
That was,
They didn't
that
want
was
to eat.
Trevor. It's an Ewok.
Yeah, Trevor the Ewok. From,
Wait, no, they didn't have a chance in hell against those AT-ATs, but those little motherfuckers tried.
you know what's so funny?
They blow them up too.
Yeah, they figured out how to use logs to blow up a fucking AT-AT. Or no, ATST, wasn't
And
it?
they were taking out
Just slammed it
armored
together.
That was a
stormtroopers.
terrible explosion effect. Though.
Yeah.
It was off time.
Yeah, they hit it, it explodes like what? A whole minute later. Yeah.
Delayed
It
reaction.
explodes right before it, doesn't it?
I mean, there was nothing short of just a bunch of Care Bears throwing rocks.
Yeah. You hear that throughout the whole movie.
I'm quite sure that was harsh language. Like, how the
Yeah.
fuck do we take this thing down?
Yeah, when I'm looking at the other one, I think I shit my fur. No, you sat in mud. No, never mind, that is poop. Taylor writes, Ewoks and, I'm probably going to butcher this one because Shock T.
Ah.
Yeah. Damn, I did good. Shock T.
Yeah, you luck up once in a while.
Yeah.
Wasn't she the one excommunicated for posing?
I think so, yeah.
She had a little nude scene in a magazine and got outed.
Yeah.
Didn't you have to hunt her down and kill her in Force Unleashed? Like, it's one of your trials?
Yep,
And
one of the second, third little like characters in there. You wipe her out.
which I'm surprised that hasn't come up. Wow. That's like the first mention of Force Unleashed I think we had. Well, other than your Star Killer reference earlier.
We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we did bump into it a little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
Which makes 2 Star Killers then.
Yeah.
Technically.
Don't ask me how I missed. Well, I guess we know what's in the cup now, don't we, folks?
Yeah. So, you know.
Well, actually, we can just make it a threesome because in the original draft of the script, Luke Skywalker was supposed to be Luke Starkiller.
Yeah.
Ooh. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
They
That's
just
pretty
wanted to
cool.
work that word in. I mean, they just ran with it afterward.
Yeah. So that was all the fan service for this week. We didn't have a whole lot because, you know, people obviously aren't Star Wars fans. You know, obviously.
Wow.
What a shame.
Yeah. And I mean, I plugged the hell out of this. Low Country GigatoshiCon plugged the hell out of this. All of y'all are losers. Y'all need to learn how to answer.
Deprived
So-
lives of no Star Wars.
I bet if this is hentai, you fuckers be all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Tanaco,
Come Okay, what?
So, now that we've, you know, gone through the fan service, we'll go ahead and ask you this week's talking point, which is, what is your favorite horror movie or series?
Nice. Nice.
So, for me, Alien.
I don't know how to follow that because that was gonna be mine. The second Aliens movie.
Yeah,
It was just
all of the Alien series to me, even the shitty fourth one, I'll go ahead and say, you know, it wasn't the best. When it growls like a tiger, that is not what a xenomorph sounds like. I have never heard a xenomorph growl before. You know, I was like, they do that little, you know, hiss, but most of the time it's usually a screech and miniguns blowing up around them, you know, so. That was my series, that and Predator. I'm a big Predator fan as well. You know, contrary to what Josh says on most of his loot crates when he gets a Predator item.
Bro, I just said that you would have rather have had the Xenomorph,
This is true, and I got the Xenomorph.
which was not an untrue statement.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you're right.
You even said, I'm really glad I got the Xenomorph instead of the Predator.
Yeah.
Although I'd have liked to have had both.
now if we're talking in terms of like our favorites and we love to watch it over and over and over
Yeah.
again. Yeah, I'm with you. Aliens.
Aliens,
all the
yeah.
way. I think the special effects and technology, the sheer storytelling has yet to be matched, and that thing's damn near almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
If you're going by like just sheer like it scared the fuck out. Like I'm a grown ass man. I'm not scared to say I slept with the lights on that night. And a lot of people are gonna laugh because they know how I feel about this movie, but I'm gonna go with Insidious. That movie scared the fuck out of me. I don't know what it is about that. What is that? What is that thing? It had hoops
demon,
and it had like a
looked like
red.
Darth Maul kinda with goat legs.
And it was playing that creepy like tiptoe like that. I don't know if the song just added to the.
Yeah, that song's creepy in itself.
Yeah, anytime you use Tiny Tim to scare kids, that's perfect, you know.
Like it could be Netflix and chill, and I'm just not gonna get laid because I won't watch that fucking movie. I will not watch that movie again. It scared the fuck out of me.
I don't think I've ever seen the third one. I've like done 1, 2, but I don't think I've done 3.
Second one was okay, but it didn't have that fear factor like the first one did. It gave me chills. Damn that.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now, I got exposed to Alien at like the age of 5. My dad was like, no filter. You were sitting down and watching this movie with me because it's an awesome sci-fi movie. So I watched Aliens with him. I slept on the couch till I was 10 years old because that one scene where the facehugger is crawling under the bed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I had beds that were built just like that. And I went to sleep and I heard something just doing. I went running into the living room, turned on the lights, and slept with the lights on for like till I was 10. I was like, no, I'm not going back in my room. Like, lights would be off and I'd hear the xenomorph hissing in my head and be like, I don't know whether I'm going schizophrenic or I'm having a real bad fear of this thing.
My mom would always let me watch movies until things got out of hand, and she's like, all right, as soon as I say go to bed, you're out of here.
Yeah.
And I think when the Marines went into the nest and shit started going south,
yeah.
my mom was like, yeah, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
this is bad.
I like when Hicks pulls out the shotgun and then the guy's like, you can't do that in here, that's a nuclear reactor. One wrong piercing and you can blow the whole goddamn place up. And I mean, Aliens was so different from Alien, where it was just like this whole, you know, Alien was all about survival. Aliens was all about, we've got a military now, we're going to try to survive, and it wipes the whole military out except for like a little girl, a woman.
Well, they were barely surviving. It wasn't like Rambo or anything where they were like, hey, that's another one, like a cigar, like I kicked her out. Like, they barely, like the scene with Bishop, and they're like, finally, thank God, you brought the ship. And then like Bishop's, it took me like,
He splits in half.
holy shit.
I mean, seeing that Queen for the first time, that was like impressive in the series.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, because you know you're used to seeing the little skinny, you know, 7 foot tall or 6 foot tall alien. Next thing you know, you get 20-something foot tall Queen staring at you, going, "Bitches, what's up?"
Didn't they just release the shoes for those? Like
the 30th anniversary Reeboks, yeah.
They were only available in men's sizes, even though it was worn by a woman.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how the fuck to put those on. Like that's.
They call them the alien stompers or something like that. But yeah, so I guess we need to go ahead and get the rest of these answers in. Because I think we're about to do another 30 minutes.
For me, Halloween. Halloween was like my horror franchise. I mean, it's just
Good
the
choice.
creepy music. He ain't fast or anything. He's just.
And then Rob Zombie did a remake of that. I mean,
And yeah, because I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis really sells it for me with the first one. She's super hot.
yeah.
But the new ones, you know, they introduced a lot more boobies and blood. Zombie, and that was even more epic.
Yeah. Anytime you
Girls, if
Rob
you want to
Zombie,
please your man, just get breast implants and a gold brassiere and.
no fake blood.
That's the whole get up there.
Yeah.
And a purple fanny cape.
Yeah.
Oh.
And some Reeboks.
Boy,
That's a hell of a bedroom scene.
And a chain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I gotta go with Halloween as well. That
Two
and
aliens do Halloween?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
You have mail.
Yeah. Instead of.
That one did screw me up as a kid. Like, I had a terrifying thing about getting on school buses after that whole scene. He's like doing claws on the roof, and it just like left a mark on me.
That was probably one of the first, like, my introduction to horror movies, and I think I started watching it. It was probably a year before I actually saw how it ended, because I'd get to a scary part and I'm like, oh, cut it off, cut it off,
See,
cut it off.
that was me with Alien, you know, or Aliens, when the facehugger was
But
coming out, I was like,
4 or 5.
Like in the first Alien, when the facehugger pops out, I'm like, no! You know, it made me jump. I'd never jumped with a movie before.
See, I were going all Hudson with this, like, game over, man.
Game over!
So Series 2 also screwed me up with sex too. Halloween and Freddy, because it just like made it out that like if you have sex, you're gonna die. It's hand in hand, so like it's best to stay virgin, you know, not get killed in a gruesome fashion.
Yeah, apparently, if you were African American or you had double deep breasts, you were just
you're fucked.
gone. Yes.
Black guy dies first.
Yeah.
I kept beginning to think of how many Facebook page arguments I started with, like, try to name an African American that survived a horror movie, friend. Like, I think LL Cool J from Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Halloween
Came
survived.
out.
That's a hard one.
That's, yes.
Well, if you think about Alien versus Predator,
I mean, it doesn't even have to be true horror movies. Take the first Resident Evil movie. Who was the first motherfucker to die?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. More sliced to death.
Fucking diced.
Well, we're going by kills now. Like, the more Nightmare on Elm Street progressed, the kills just got really ridiculous. I think the Roach Motel in 4 just, I was like, yeah, this is enough's enough.
Usually when
I really only like the first one and half of the second one.
Yeah. Like I said,
him peeling off like the kid's skin, like coming out of
was
him.
interesting though. The reboot was, I don't know. I mean, there was part of it that I liked just because I like that character Rorschach and that actor. He's just pretty good, and I don't know. It had some good facts to it.
Shit, that was Rorschach.
Yeah.
I kept trying to place the face.
It was an interesting take on it. It was an alright reboot. I mean, look at Jason. Where the hell's he at?
Well, the original
And
came
Mortal
out
Kombat.
already.
yeah.
I don't know if he's like semi-retired or he's just like.
Well, now
done.
they have Xenomorphs and Predator there. And Leatherface.
And Freddy.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the last Mortal Kombat, but
I mean, pretty soon they're going to have Barney in Mortal Kombat, you know. Oh,
that's the real horror movie.
Yeah.
This sounds ridiculous, but I remember being scared of the Blair Witch Project, and I know it's cheesy and stupid as that looked, but
I just remember boogers on the camera.
It wasn't because of the whole "this is real found footage," blah blah blah.
well, no, like me
Did you
being a
buy
city
into that,
boy
or-
moving into South Carolina, it's like you don't know who the fuck lives out in these. So from that aspect, like all my friends. Come see me sometime. Where you live? Like off this dirt? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, see, most people from the north they don't associate Blair Witch Project with the south. They associate Deliverance, you know.
Yeah.
Make you
Yeah, well, I'll be seeing you gentlemen later. I'll be taking my leave now.
You got a purty mouth.
I don't like where the fuck this is going.
Yeah.
There's
But anyway.
sheep in that barn.
Well, anyway, that I think that wraps everything up for this week's episode of ToCing Points.
Yeah, all 6 hours.
Yeah, all 6 hours. You know, this is.
And various lawsuits.
Infringements of
Yeah.
copyrights and such.
So, thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks, Omar and John, for joining us again.
Thank you
know,
guys for
anytime
having
y'all
us.
are wanting to come on the show, just let us know. We'll be glad to have you on. Thanks, Josh, for coming out to the set, even though you are my partner in crime most of the time.
Oh, we gotta present you guys with your gift.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So,
In the meantime, get out there and watch some of our videos and make me some
I'll let you
goddamn money.
Well, thanks for having us on. We want to give you guys a Darth Maul figure we picked out for y'all.
Oh, it comes full circle.
There
Yeah.
you go. He'll live forever in your house, but not in the movie.
But anyway, you know, again, thank y'all for that. That'll be awesome to add to the set. We'll definitely make sure it gets a good central part of the set.
Yeah, there we go. Give him the props he deserves.
Yeah.
Unlike the
He doesn't
movies.
have mechanical spider legs.
Yeah. That sucked in the Clone Wars. But anyway.
Don't forget, Low Country GigaToshiCon, July 23rd.
Yeah, definitely.
Carleton County Memorial Library is going to be a really kick-ass Comic-Con. We're going to have guests and artists and writers, games, video game tournaments, all absolutely free. Yeah, come on down, check it out, July 23rd. Anything you feel like plugging, like your
And if you can't make
big
it,
orgy happening
make sure you tune in
October,
here
or-
because we'll be live streaming the whole thing.
We can't talk about that on our. No.
So
You
anyway.
done sold me out, man.
So
That
anyway.
was a secret.
In case you couldn't hear, if you can't make it to Low Country GigaToshiCon, make sure you tune in here on this channel because we'll be live broadcasting the whole thing.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, keep talking.
know a secret?
What's that?
You can click this column over here. Yeah, that one right there, and watch a video. Or
You can click that
you can
column.
click my dick to subscribe. Thanks for watching.